be 5-5. Rich Waltz along with former Texas Tech head coach Chris Walker. Boise State comes into this ball game shaken. I mean, shaken. They had number 5 San Diego State beaten on Wednesday, but all fell apart at the end.
You are absolutely right, Rick. I'll tell you this, Dwayne Poley, a dagger 3 that just ruined the party in Boise. Would have been a huge win for the Broncos.
That was Xavier Thames with the pass, Poley with the shot. Derek Marks came up short, and there is the final. Okay. That wasn't the only disappointment. They've given up 2 double-digit leads to UNLV and San Diego State. How do they bounce back?
They got to keep playing, because I'll tell you one thing, the team in the white and the herd behind us, they ain't feeling sorry for them at all.
Yep, I believe that we will win. That's the chant they have here at Utah State. Now the starting lineups. These two teams met in January. It was a terrific game. The bigs really flourished. Brian Watkins had a double-double. Jared Shaw, he had a 24-point ball game. Spencer Butterfield for Utah State, a guy to watch. His three-point shooting in the second half erased a 12-point Boise State lead. Utah State actually had the lead late in that ball game. But Leon Rice got a block and a bucket from Derek Marks to win that game. And they meet again here. Rice in his 4th year, and of course Stu Morrill, longtime coach here, 16 years. Utah State's first year in the Mountain West Conference. That win over Nevada on Wednesday, a good Nevada team who came in at 7-2, snapped a 5-game losing streak for the Aggies. All right, Chris Walker, what kind of game are we going to see pace-wise?
You know, it's interesting the way Boise State played Utah last time. They let him throw it inside to Shaw and let him score, and they took away the shooters. We got to see how Utah State guards those ball screens and handoffs from Boise State.
Such a unique offense for Boise State. But Utah State played very well in beating Nevada. In the post, Shaw, turn, jump ball, sweet touch. He's averaging 15 a game with 8 rebounds.
Rich, that's shades from last game. We'll see if they try to keep the same strategy. Shaw took 16 shots last game. Boise State ended up with the win.
Boise State has had 2 terrific starts their last games. UNLV on the road, San Diego State, number 5 in the country, at home, but they just couldn't hold double-digit leads.
Still like that action, get inside, high percentage shot. I don't know if it's going to be like that all game long, but we'll see.
Where does Utah State get their points?
You know what, Utah State, in my opinion, they need to make threes. I mean, it's great to throw it inside, but the way they have to get their guards off. Medlin has to get off. Butterfield has to get off for those guys to be successful today.
Medlin the miss. Watkins the first of what usually will be many rebounds. This is Marks blowing right by with a 2-hand dunk. Derek Marks had 22 against UNLV. He had a very nice ball game against San Diego State. And he opens the scoring for Boise State.
Boise State picking up where they left off last game with Marks ending the game and putting a dagger into Utah State. They got to get back in transition.
Butterfield misses a 3. And up the floor comes Boise State. It's a 4-out, 1-in look. Guard heavy, 4 of them. Duncan is 6'7", but he essentially plays a stretch 3 or a shooting guard spot.
He does. They're going to spread the floor, look for drives and kicks by Marks. At the end of the day, also look for Duncan spotted up and Drimmick spotted up for 3s.
Nice entry by Thompson, and Watkins finishes with a layup.
And he's been playing great. Got the start today. Just really good. Does a good job of running the team, but also penetrating and making plays for his teammates.
Kyle Davis, handoff. Shaw couldn't hold the pass, and it's a turnover for Utah State.
Here there's that transition, throwing the ball up. Bad gamble. Medlin just got to get back, sprint back to the box. Obviously a finisher in Marks.
Derek Marks this season close to 16 a game. One of the top guards in the Mountain West. And this is Marks going to work again. It's a block. Marks will go to the line. He'll shoot 2. Kyle Davis landing on his back.
Yeah, I'd like to see if he had position or not. Couldn't really tell here. Let's see it right here on the replay. Definitely moving. Great move. Great drive by Marks. He's going to attack the rim all night long.
And remember this here, it's from the gather not from when the offensive player leaves the floor.
Which I believe makes it an easier call for the refs and less of a bang-bang judgment call.
First free throw rattles in for the Broncos.
Talked about it on the onset of how Boise State's going to run ball screens all game long. It's how Utah State decides to guard them, where they're going to trap them, hard hedge them. It's going to be very important going forward in this game.
You saw the numbers for Marks, and of course he had the two big plays at the end to seal the win against Utah State.
See, Utah State coming off those screens. Let's see if Boise State hedges out. That's getting the hand out so he can't catch it in rhythm and get a shot.
Davis backing in on Duncan. There's a mismatch because Duncan is more comfortable away from the basket.
Really like Cal Davis, great young player. Really got a chance to have a bright future here at Utah State. Just bulldog him right to the rim.
Back cut, Thompson, that's gorgeous. How would you defend this offense from Boise State?
You just got to stay solid. Stay solid. Obviously, Thompson and Marks are more drivers than shooters. Got to stay solid, keep them in front of you.
Home crowd, despite a foot of snow outside, is here and loud. Aggies don't lose many games in this building.
They sure don't. Crowd's getting into it.
Missed another hook. Nice play by Davis. Rowland misses a three. Thompson the rebound.
But you know, they're content to go inside. They're going to play the same game plan that they played last time. Shaw just have to knock that down.
Marks hits a three. And Boise State, and this has been the pattern for the Broncos, off to a quick start. 11-4. Derek Marks, Anthony Drimmick gave it up, and Marks buries the three.
I mean, he's on fire, characteristic of the way they play. They love to shoot threes in transition, sharing the ball, extra pass, look at a little no-look, little dipsy-doodle, knocks it down. That's like playing horse.
Now, when these two teams met in January, it was the bigs that dominated early, Chris.
It was the bigs that dominated. And you know what? The shades of it starting this game off, they're throwing it inside time after time. Both guys are. But Derek Marks said, hey, you know what? I got the win last time. Let me come in with the right flow and start it off. So I said the guard's got to make some noise. He's surely making noise right now.
And these were the sequence of plays. Marks with a block and then the shot that won it. 78-74, Boise State beat Utah State. And Marks is off to a quick start in this one, 7 points. And he's 2 of 2 for the field.
Really like him. Second team Mountain West performer last year. Really good scorer.
Daniel Rowland from Utah State. Drimmick the steal. And the layup. The Australian.
2 words for that. It's called scouting report. They did a great job of scouting that play. They love setting those screen-to-screen picks. He came and shot the gap, got him a layup.
Thomas broke play in the ball game for Boise State. Butterfield. Drimmick has done a nice job of cutting him off. He's a very good three-point shooter.
Just pay attention to all the screening that Utah State does. They love the baseline screens. They love that diagonal pin down to the high post area. They're still going to Shaw.
And Jared Shaw now with 4 points. The lead is 7. You've just joined us. Boise State coming in here at 5-5. Heartbreaking losses all year long. And in the Mountain West Conference, it's been painful. Blocked. Shaw turns away Watkins.
Rich, you notice the ball goes inside. All of the Boise State, Utah State guys stay at home and they don't go double. Watkins making them make a play. So they don't want to leave shooters open.
Pick and roll. Davis off the glass. And Utah State answers back. They're within 5. This is Bro play. He had a nice night against number 5 San Diego State. Marks turns the corner. Left hand. 9 early points for Derek Marks.
Coach Morrow talked about that at shoot-around, about how to guard that. Obviously a mental breakdown. They're going to really have to do a good job of stopping those guys in those handoffs, or it's going to be a long night.
That's where Boise State would like Shaw to shoot from, not in close like that. Because when he gets in close, it goes down. A running hook. He'll get a free throw. He can cut the lead to 4.
Here he is again, just backing him down, a la Shaquille O'Neal. Watkins got to keep moving his feet. It's too easy for him. And here's Marks going to commercial. Nice drive, great athlete. He'll finish that all day long.
On a Saturday overdrive at Utah State. This is Old Main Hill on the Utah State campus. There's a sign up top that says sled at your own risk. And if you have some friends and you got a couch, and this is what the judges have said, that's some good stuff out there. A foot of snow has fallen in the last day. Nice to be inside.
I got one question for you, Rich. Does that count as a bunny slope? Because that's probably the only thing I would actually get on in the snow.
Yeah, I would go there. For you, I would recommend the couch. Shaw gets the rebound, and Utah State with the ball, trailing by 5. You see the shooting has been very good for both sides.
Definitely has. You talked to one of the players earlier. We talked about energy. Yes, I did about energy. Utah State's energy. Very important coming out right now.
Davis, straight on jumper. Wow. Hard rebound by Desmond Trent, who's into the ballgame for Boise State. Igor Hadziemirovich, along with Mikey Thompson. Jake Ness is in as well. This is something that Leon Rice told us. He wants to play his bench, and he wants them to play big minutes in this ballgame.
You know, he's looking at the losses that they had, and he's saying, hey, I need to give guys more of a chance and give other guys a blow. And that's just smart coaching.
Into the ball game, Jalen Moore, the freshman, local kid. His father, Jimmy, a ball player here, and now an assistant athletic director. And one of the sporting one of the great dudes in college basketball. Butterfield in the backcourt with Preston Medlin. This is Medlin in the corner. Shaw has been the force inside.
Particular attention to Medlin coming off ball screens. He and Butterfield are great shooting off ball screens.
Marcel Davis is in as well for Utah State. Butterfield, Shaw, they'll make him take that jumper, and he missed it. Hadziemirovich has the rebound.
He is capable of making that shot, but that's what we call fool's gold. They're going to let him go to him all day long. As long as Butterfield and Medlin aren't making shots, I'd say advantage Boise State.
Bro play, good three-point shooter. Crossover. And it's Bro play who misses the three. Now these two teams were in the WAC together. For Boise State, though, this is their third year in the Mountain West. First year in the Mountain West for Utah State. But Boise State, in this arena, has never won a basketball game. As amazing as that sounds. And Stu Morrill, in this arena, rarely loses ball games. Medlin with a runner. And then followed by Moore won't go.
Which that is an absolutely amazing stat. But talking about the game real quick, you see Medlin come off that screen, wide open on the baseline screens. They're really good at it. Moore should have knocked that tap in.
Mikey Thompson hits a three. And Boise State stretches their lead to 8.
I think Boise State heard you talking about them being 0-17, and on cue, Thompson makes a 3.
Now, Utah State is a better three-point shooting team than they've shown. 41% on the year. A strong move over the left hand. Marcel Davis will get a free throw and a shot at a three-point play. Utah State down 8. They turn to the sophomore, Marcel Davis. Aggies get a free throw. You can always find Jalen Moore in the huddle. Just find the hair. It's one of the more unique looks in college basketball. 18-12, Boise State on top of Utah State. Now, I don't know, you can help me out here, Chris, but you go around the country, there's the flowing locks out of Ohio State. This is kind of the old mullet look from Brady Heslip at Baylor. Maybe the Hawaiian volcano look. I'm not sure what that was. And Willie started blonde, and he's gone back darker. But on the Utah State bench, Sean Harris was looking for a fresh Prince of Bel-Air look, and he may have captured it.
He absolutely nailed that for sure. The only thing, I used to wear my hair like that many moons ago when I was in college, if you believe it or not. But now I'm follically challenged.
Now Moore, who's got the big afro, Stu Morrill is a a disciplinarian. Moore thought he was going to have to cut his hair when he came here, and he asked Coach Stu Morrill, am I okay? And Morrill took one look at him and said, yeah, because you remind me of guys I used to play against. Morrill played at Gonzaga. So that was back in the day, with maybe tighter shorts.
That was back in the day, and we actually talked to Jalen the day of shoot-around, and I said, you're missing one thing, the tight shorts.
Utah State within 5. Hadziemirovic, Marks.
Watch your guards flashing in and flashing out of the middle of the zone. They're going to have to get it inside and make plays.
Trent's pass is picked off. Watkins also on the floor for Boise State. Marks. Stu Morrill's not real pleased with the ball handling.
I like Mark's energy.
Utah State does not turn the ball over much at all. They are very good at handling the basketball.
Very, very critical to be a good passing team. They really do a good job of finding each other. Makes things a lot easier for you on the offensive end.
Davis, Medlin, along with Berger, into the ball game is big Jordan Stone. And, of course, Jalen Moore is in there as well.
Look at the precision of Utah State's offense. Ball screens. They always have a guy lifting up from the same side to run the ball screen on. Obviously, they cannot let Medlin get shots like that. They got to mark him at all times.
Preston Medlin, Spencer Butterfield, and Taneo Rowland are really good from beyond the arc. This is pro play.
Utah State was down 7 a minute ago. They quietly crept back into this game. Let's see how Boise State responds.
Berger with the rebound. Here come the Aggies. Bad pass. Marks got a hand and a shove. Marks may have gotten away with a push. And the officials converging. And I'm not sure who they're going to give the ball to.
See, they're coming off that ball screen. They help. He tries to stunt, get back to his man. Medlin's too good of a shooter to do that. Got to stay with him.
Well, as you can tell from the reaction here in Logan, the ball goes to Boise State. And another turnover for Utah State. So a 2-point game.
Also at number 5, 12,
Rich, you see they're subbing out Trent. That last shot, Trent doesn't play that much, comes in, jab step 3 from the corner. Probably not the kind of shot you want in a game like this, and he's being subbed.
Joe Handstad checks into the ball game for Boise State.
A lot of new faces, right?
Yes. I mean, Leon Rice wasn't kidding. He's going to play his bench as much as he can, both in the first and in the second half. This is Handstad.
When you're a coach and you've had some tough losses and setbacks, you got to trust your convictions. He thought he needed to make more substitutions. That's what he's doing.
Trimick from the corner. He hit some big shots in the first half against San Diego State.
Rich, I've watched tape after tape. That's just a mental breakdown by Utah State. They know the corner 3 is Drimick's spot.
Medlin penetrates. This is Davis. Berger. Rowe play the rebound. Boise State without Jeff Loriaga, at least it seems that way. Still out with a back injury. He hurt it against UNLV. Drimick again. Bang! Anthony Drimick. The Aussie, the junior, 2 threes. And Utah State crept within 2, but all of a sudden, it's back to an 8-point lead.
I mean, he has an unbelievably quick release, plays with a lot of confidence. That's a cross screen right there. All day long, they're going to go inside all day, so they're going to do something to try to make sure that they keep a body on more because they're going inside the whole game.
Role play driving. Met at the rim. Watkins has an offensive rebound. Marks back to Watkins. Against Stone. And he misses the hook.
Crowd thought he got away with a little Boise shuffle there. But again, on that drive, they fake the handoff. That's something they got to work on, especially as the game gets closer and closer.
Drimick and Watkins embracing.
Here it is in the corner. Game after game, I've seen him drain that. He's got a quick release. Doesn't even hold his follow-through. He just throws it up and slows his hands down and says, game over, and runs back.
Very talented player. He said he chose Boise State because when he was recruited, and he looked at their stats and their media guide. He realized they were losing a ton of players, and he could play right away. And as well, he knew that Leon Rice coached a fun offense, and that Drimmick has really thrived in it. It's as Stu Morrill told us, it's a European-type offense, and he's got European-type players in Drimmick, Marks, Loriaga, pro play. I think the officials are looking at the clock. They can't look unless it's under 2 minutes on an out-of-bounds play as to who did the ball touch last. But the officials right now, Bob Staffen, Darren White, Kevin Brill are discussing shot clock, game clock.
You know, to your point, Rich, about where you talked about Drimmick before, it's interesting. Kids, they choose schools for different reasons. He wanted to play. You know, and that's really factored in his decision, and that's great for Leon Rice and Boise State. Here's the clock right there.
Well, the shot clock, since it was not possessed, is going to stay at 27. The game clock at 8:31. This is following the script for Boise State. They've gotten off to quick starts their last 2 games at UNLV and against number 5 San Diego State.
Got to be encouraging, though, because he's sticking to his guns. He said he was going to play a lot of different people, and it's worked out and served him well thus far.
All right, Jared Shaw, the big man, is back in for Utah State. He's touched the ball a lot in this ball game. Duncan just took a header in the lane, and that freed up Butterfield. Boise State's fortunate. Butterfield missed a wide-open 3.
Got a great look. Marcel Davis doing a good job of penetrating and getting inside.
Marks
and making shots for people.
Missed that one. Shaw with his 3rd rebound to go with 6 points.
Let's see if they look to go inside to Shaw. They've missed a couple wide open threes that they probably won't miss, but let's see if they go inside and try to take advantage of going against Watkins once again.
In the Mountain West, in Logan, Utah, Boise State, Utah State's physical ball game right now. Later on tonight, we'll take you into the studio, down the road to the Final Four, highlights, analysis, March implications from around the country. Inside College Basketball tonight, midnight Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. AP Top 10, pay attention. San Diego State in the Mountain West, now they're at number 5. Cincinnati at number 7 is important as well for New Mexico, because New Mexico beats Cincinnati, and Cincinnati keeps rising. Kansas is important to San Diego State because San Diego State won at Kansas. Kansas won today.
They did. I think New Mexico and San Diego State are firmly in. You know, they just have to play the string out. They're a good team. They won't lose very many games down the stretch. But the other teams in the league, for the RPI of the league, they also need those guys to keep winning.
And that's the mystery of Boise State. They were in last year. They went to the NCAA tournament, and they returned all 5 starters. Yet here they sit at 5-5 in the Mountain West. Shaw put it on the floor. Marks playing great defense, held ball, and it's going to go Utah State's way. No reset on the shot clock.
It's just great effort by Marks. He's been on the floor 2 or 3 times already. He's coming out scoring. I really love his intensity. He's got to get on the floor. That's what college basketball is all about. Football's over, but still can get on the floor right now in college basketball.
Marcel Davis. Butterfield, the catch, the step back, the 3. That's not as easy as he made it look.
That's what you call balling right there. That was an unbelievable shot. Step back, jump shot. Great shot by Butterfield.
Drimmick, another 3. Drimmick has hit 3 of them. And Drimmick and Butterfield, who are guarding each other, are trading 3s. Back in Logan, Utah right now. Boise State, Utah State's. Rich Waltz along with Chris Walker in the Mountain West. Good ball game here.
Great ball game. Utah State giving Boise State a little taste of their own medicine, a little dribble handoff, dribble weave. Kyle Davis really good at putting the ball on the floor, adds to big, scores on Duncan.
So back and forth they go. It's a 4-point ball game. Drimmick again. Came up short. Butterfield Does he have an answer? Blows by. Runner!
Seems like we got a bit of a one-on-one thing going here between these two guys. Fans getting into it. Great excitement.
Boise State with a timeout. Boy, what a matchup between Spencer Butterfield and Anthony Drimmick.
They're definitely going on. He's pushing the ball at him. Watch enough about Butterfield knows he is like a bull in the china shop. He is not going to stop and not going to be denied getting to the rim. Here's again. Great job stepping away from him. Very nimble, stepping away, strong body. And then, most important thing is, he got the finish.
Butterfield out of Loomis, California, junior college kid. He is a senior. He lit Nevada up in the win over Nevada on Wednesday. 20 points, 11 rebounds. He plays a lot bigger than he is. He's only 6'3".
A strong body, though. A strong body, very smart. He's got a weapon, which is called his right arm. He can really make shots. So he's a very, very dangerous player. And you know what? The most important thing is tough.
Boise State's biggest lead was 9, and this lead is down to 2. See the run right now by Utah State.
It's to the handoffs. They're going to come set ball screens or any type of ball screens or backdoor plays.
Oh, wow, Marks creating on his own. He got a screen from Watkins. And Derek Marks leading Boise State right now with 11 points. Anthony Drimmick has 11 as well.
So if I'm Utah State, I'm going to treat that handoff like a ball screen. They got to really, really work on stopping it because they're not going to be able to survive all game long by allowing these guys to get straight line drive off handoff to the rim.
Shaw went for the layup instead of the dunk, and it cost them the turnover, and the turnaround is a 4-point swing. Mikey Thompson makes him pay.
Just seems like every time Utah State gets close, they make a couple of mental errors or just miss an easy bunny, and Boise State comes down and punishes them.
Davis, Medlin, back to Davis. That is a push.
No question.
And it's Butterfield with the push, no bucket.
Here's what we're talking about in the handoff. When you get to the end of the handoff, again, here he is, I mean, just crafty. I mean, you can't teach that.
Let's see if Butterfield did push off. 21 White.
I don't think there's any question. He pushed him in the back. Good drive by Kyle Davis. Just got to finish that play.
Watkins, Duncan. Duncan hurt Utah State in Boise. He had 5 threes in that game. But he hasn't scored in this one yet.
He did, and he usually scores in transition or if they're getting the ball into the lane, driving the ball and kicking it or off ball screens. And they haven't done that much this game, but look for that as the game progresses.
Butterfield, that's 18-footer, and Utah State staying within range.
See, both teams are using that handoff, and that handoff almost serves like a ball screen. The defensive on both sides, they need to get a little bit tougher and stay attached and don't leave so much space because these guys can make shots on both ends.
Butterfield has 8, Drimmick has 11. Duncan, a corner 3, short. Watkins has the rebound. Drimmick, a 3. That's short, and Duncan fouled to get the rebound. In the Mountain West, Boise State 31, Utah State 27, 4:11 left. And a physical matchup. You want physical, just take a look at 6'10", 270-pound Jordan Stone, who will rattle your teeth. He's already set a couple of jarring screens.
Jordan Stone, we should call him Stone Cold. How about that?
He's back into the ball game. Jake Ness is off the Boise State bench, and he's matched up against Stone. Aggie's offense has been Butterfield off screens, and here he comes racing around another one.
It's almost like a wheel action with a flare screen on the other side. Great play, great finish by Medlin.
Medlin gives Utah State their 29th point. They're back within 2. Marks drops it off. Ness wasn't ready for the pass. Butterfield. Chance to take the lead or tie it. And look back at the Utah State bench.
We're coming off of a screen. Look for Davis either driving to the rim, trying to create something, but he turns it over. Tough pass.
Utah State with a turnover. Preston Medlin and Utah State won't let Boise State escape. It's a 2-point game. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Steve Lapis, and Seth Davis. Get you all caught up. All the action, the top 25, first half highlights and stats. All that and more coming up on AT&T at the half. And I would expect that Wally Zerbiak would like these two guards from Boise State, Anthony Trimmett and Derek Marks.
I mean, Marks has come out very focused, going to the rim very hard every second, and obviously Trimmett just knocking down threes like it's no tomorrow.
And there's the production, 8 of 10. The rest of the team, 4 of 15. Marks and Trimmett have got 22 of the 31 points.
I'm Leon Rice, and that's happening. I'm very happy right now. And these two guys are into the game. It's a road game. And incidentally, these two scorers, as a tandem, are top 10 in the country. So if you got your two best players, all Mountain West performers a year ago, carrying the load, that's a good thing for Boise State.
Utah State comes out in what looks like a zone look. A screen for Trent.
They like to do that matchup. It's kind of like a matchup, funky man-to-man, switching everything, trying to confuse you, really just to throw rhythm off. But look for Boise State to flash guards in and out of the middle, all right? And then when they catch it, look to attack or kick the shooters for threes.
Trent, terrific move by a guy that's getting more and more playing time. The freshman out of Tacoma, Washington, Desmond Trent.
One thing about coaching, you know, you can sit in the room and you can draw up a scouting report. And when it happens in the game, that's when you know you're doing a good job. He's playing his bench, and it's been effective thus far.
Butterfield, ball fake, fall away. Wow! Spencer Butterfield into double figures now. He's been terrific for Utah State.
Great pace, lost art, making a 2-point jump shot. Great form, quality shooter.
Still just a 2-point ball game. Every time Boise State makes a run, Utah State reels them back in. Marks. Rolling up the floor. Butterfield in full flight. And he got maybe a little too quickly down the floor.
That's what I'm talking about here. Taking his time. Little screen there, little flare screen by Shaw, and coming off, making a 2. Real nice shot.
Now, we were talking hair. He's kind of got like the faux hawk going there. Kind of the ridge on the top.
No matter what style any of them have, I'm jealous. How about that? It's true.
You'd like to be invited to the party, wouldn't you?
No question about that. Just watch Boise State. They're going to move the ball around until they get an advantage where they can drive the ball and make plays.
Watkins calling for the ball on the inside. He's been negated by Shaw so far. Pick and roll. Shot clock at 5. Got to get it up. Pro play. Fall away. Good defensive sequence for Utah State.
Absolutely great defense. Again, that shell, they call it shell defense, making sure every time a guy has the ball, that's 8 other eyes staring at him. Giving no slight driving lanes where it looks like he can get to the lane and just make him take a shot where it's a step back 3. Tough shot to make from Utah State, from Stu Morrow. Great defense and securing the rebound.
Chris, as a player at Villanova, as head coach at Texas Tech, as an assistant across the NCAA, you've been in a lot of arenas. This one is really tight. I mean, the crowd, the students, everybody's right on top of the floor. This is not an easy place to play.
You're right about that. And I was a player. There's one place that comes to mind, Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, when we used to play at the University of Pittsburgh. And guess who was a point guard back then? Sean Miller.
Kyle Davis earns a couple free throws. That was before he went on Johnny Carson with his dribbling show. 33-31, Boise State on top of Utah State. When they met in January, it came down to the wire. Boise State had a 12-point lead. Butterfield, with some help, erased that. And Utah State actually had the lead late in the ball game before Marks had that terrific block and lay-in. And Stu Morrill said that ball game could have gone either way.
You know what? This ball game could go either way as it's going now. So these teams know each other very well. And I'm really excited and enthusiastic about what we're going to see in the second half. But you know what? There's 46 seconds to go. Let's see what kind of shot Boise State gets. I'm assuming there's going to be some type of drive to the rim.
Trimick is back in the ball game. Obviously, they can't play for the final shot. Marks. This is pro play. Gets it up. Watkins' tip won't go. Pro play knocks it loose. Still loose. Pro play on the ground. Wanted a timeout. If he was inbounds, he was not. Utah State, with 18 seconds left, gets the ball.
Matters not. Great play, great hustle. That's like the third or fourth time we've seen multiple guys on the floor. They're treating this crowd to a nice game right now. It's great hustle by both guys.
This first half has flown by. There's only been, for a physical game, just 9 fouls called.
I think this is what the NCAA wanted when they instituted all the new rules. Talk strategy here in Utah State coming down. Think about it, getting the last shot. It's either going to be a drive, some type of baseline screen, or a handoff. Ball screen, pop back.
Butterfield, there's the screen. There's the pop, and he missed it. The rebound, Hadziomировich, and it comes up short. Hard fought, physical, intense, all of those things in the first half in Logan, Utah. And an afternoon tilt here. AT&T at the half is coming up. It's halftime in Logan. Boise State, Utah State, 33 apiece.